Alright, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Every year I talk about what I got for Christmas, and this year I got the My Arcade pole position little race driver mini cabinet thing. And as you can see, the box got a bit wrecked. This seems to be a trend. When Glenn's Retro Show got his, Glenn even noticed, or he commented, look at what a state this box is in. My Arcade, why are you sending these things just in this container, not inside a box? But okay, whatever. In Glenn's case, his racing game was fine. I'm hoping mine is as well. This will make it somewhat easy to open it up, I would say. Yeah, because it's not like we need to preserve any of the packaging. The packaging is pretty much wrecked right off the bat. We got items, little catalog. I think there's even a certificate of authenticity in here. Where is that? Yeah, there we go. So they have racing player, pole position. Now, I've always wanted to get something like this because as much as I love all the little mini arcade machines that I've got, and I have quite a few of them, as you know, I've always had the argument, but if I can play it on my phone, what's the point? And I always remember thinking to myself, why doesn't somebody stick a racing steering wheel on one of these things? Now My Arcade has done so. There is the steering wheel. Ooh. Oh, that has quite a nice feel to it. You know, I've been watching people play these things, and that's actually kind of nice feeling. It has a, that's very good. Okay, well, we'll get to actually driving it in a second, but here we go. Here is the cabinet. It's a bit bright here. Let me just turn the brightness down a hair. You know, like that. That's a little nicer. There, it's not totally washing out everything. Got some nice things on the back. There's where you can put your batteries. It's got a little screwdriver thing. Power is, where is power? That's the power. Volume up and down. It uses USB-C. That's for adjusting the brightness of the screen. And got a gear shift. Yeah. Very, very nice. I'm very, very glad to finally have something with a steering wheel on it. My goodness, people, why has this taken this long for us to get racing games on here? Yes, I did get that little retro driving thing, but it's not that great. So let me get some batteries in here. Okay, batteries are in. We will, of course, peel off the screen protector. Some people aren't wild at how small the screen is on this thing. I think it looks fine. I think that's an okay size by me. And I really like pole position, so I'm quite looking forward to this. So just in comparison, I did bring out, here's that retro racer that I got a while ago. And with it, the steering wheel on there, it only has a finite space. And I can tell it's just a roller going across a D-pad, which apparently My Arcade were thinking of originally doing with this thing. And then I think there was so much feedback and suggestions from people, please make it a real steering wheel. And I remember commenting on Gen X Grown Up when he was down in CES. He showed this thing off without being able to turn it on. And I said, please tell me he's got pole position 2 on there. Much as I love pole position 1, it has one track. Lo and behold, they have now released this with pole position 2. So I'm very glad about that. Anyway, enough talking. Let's turn it on. I'm just going to see what the screen looks like here. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Actually got a wide angle of views here, and then you can select pole positions 1 or 2. I have an interesting story about pole position 2, but very good. Okay, I'm going to do proper real gameplay, but let me just try an initial, give this a whirl here. So credit in, because it is the arcade ROM. Oh, wait a minute. First select pole position 1. Good. It knows that we're in low gear. And if I flick that switch, now it's in high gear. Very cool. So let's put in a credit. And we'll just give it a try. I'm going to do proper review and stuff in a sec. Let me try this guy out here. Oh yeah. Well, that feels good. I know everybody's been talking about how nice this steering wheel feels. It does feel very, very good, actually. Nice and responsive. if I qualify, no, I always hit that. Nope, back to low. And if I qualify, I will be very impressed. Because remember, I tried my Mad Catz steering wheel playing this on the Namco collection for the original Xbox, and I couldn't control it with beams. I couldn't even qualify. If I do that here, then we've done very well. How'd I do? I qualified. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to set the camera up and do this properly now. Right, so I've got the camera set up now so you can see me both steering and playing. Let's put in a quarter and give it a try. The gear shift feels really good. Some people have said there are times in pole position where you need to hit that shift again, and it's a bit hard to do it with this positioning, but honestly, the crummy way I always played was basically I would change that gear shift once and never change it again. I always hit that. Oh well. But let's just see. Also, with pole position 2, there's a weird thing about that shifter. But you know, let's get to pole position 1 first. A lot of people, and they are right, have complimented my arcade on making this a very good steering wheel, and they have. Hey, I'm in position 7 again. Yeah, this does feel very good. Okay, here we go. Can I get through the traffic? Yeah, this I'm very pleased that it's actually pole position they've done this with, because that's a game that I have much nostalgia for and never really been able to play it much at home. It's such a game that requires a good steering wheel and good gear and gas control that I've never really been able to play it very well. Like, not with thumbsticks on any kind of collection for the Xbox or anything like that. But now with this much better, wow, steering wheel, this feels good. And I like the sort of rubbery feeling to it. Hey! There you go. Now the problem, again, pole position 1, this is it. You have one track, and then that's it over. I'm going to put my name in. Like, there we go. Yay! I have put my name in, and I'm very happy. But that's it. That's the whole game of pole position 1. Whoopee. Like, okay, if they had just released that alone, that would have been a bit disappointing. However, what they have done is very handily put on pole position 2, which has multiple tracks. So let's give one of them a shot. And the weird thing with pole position 2 is how the shift works in this one. Some people in the Atari Age forum were talking about this thing, and somebody had a couple of interesting complaints. He said that it's hard to zero out the steering wheel. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I guess, you know, making sure that it now registers this is the front position, something like that. I'm not sure. But the other thing they said is, how come the gear shift is, at least in pole position 1, you can hear it go, and that's when you know to go, you know, like that kind of thing. Whereas in pole position 2, it's all over the map. But I watched a few people play pole position 2, the original arcade hardware, and that sort of seems normal. Let me show you the issue, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So cut it up. We'll go with the test track just to keep it nice and easy. Oops, start. How do you push gas pedal? Okay, here we go. So listen for the gear. You hear how it's like really high up there? That's what people are saying, is like, wow, that is requiring me to change gear way faster than pole position 1. What's that all about? Well, that actually seems normal. Oh, darn it. Okay, hang on. Listen again. See, it's like, and I'm not going as fast because I changed my gear early. Listen, see, so I should change gear, but now I'm going super slow. And I thought, oh, you're right. Pole Position 2 has a weird gear shift issue here with this little My Arcade cabinet. But no, as I say, I watched pros and people playing it on actual genuine hardware, and they do the same. They do this really weird trick of like, you play on, you let that engine rev high. My goodness, it's a digital game. It's not going to do any harm to any actual hardware. So you let that, you let the engine rev really high, and then like a second or two later, that's when you do the gear change. And that's normal to Pole Position 2 hardware. The actual arcade original does the same thing. All right, well, there we go. I got position number 1. Now, let me show you the way people who actually do this a lot play it. So let's put another quarter in. Pros play it in high for a second, then down to low. And then that's when they change gear. So you do actually let it rev for quite a high moment there. Like you keep it in low like you would Pole Position 1. But for some reason, the sound effect of having to change gear occurs earlier in the hardware. Even on an original, like an actual arcade machine, you do have the rev going faster longer. Oh, hang on. So high and low. Give it a second. Then down to high. That is the way people play it. Watch anybody, even I've seen a few people playing in MAME where they've got like an on-screen thing showing which gear position they're in, and they were doing it exactly that way. Here we go again. Oh, sorry. Low. High. Ah, darn it. Okay. So high. Low. And then change. I think I did that wrong, but it is this weird way that people play Pole Position 2. You have it in high, brief, like for a split second, then down to low, and you let it rev quite noticeably, and then you switch back to high. Oh, I did it wrong there. But this feeling that like, oh, it has the wrong audio cue for when to change gear, unlike Pole Position 1. My arcade have done it wrong. No, they haven't. This is actually the way the arcade game is. Ah, well, there we go. It's the end of my game. Okay, there, I did better this time. But that's, yeah, that's interesting. That gear shift thing, that is the way the arcade game is played. Check it out online. So there is the My Arcade racing game player that has Pole Position in it and is very, very good. Yeah, I have no complaints about it. And I know some people are like, they wish this lit up like the other My Arcades do. They wish the marquee would light up, which unfortunately, you know, it doesn't. That would have been a nice little, just stick a little light back there, but it doesn't. Yeah, well, it's okay. It's got a nice racing theme to it. Oh, let's check out the brightness levels. Oh, okay, that's brighter, and that's very, very dim. You can't really tell that on the camera that well, can you? Yeah, sort of. You can see where it's really, really dim anyway. Yeah, that's not bad. Good viewing angle. That steering wheel is quite nice, and it is plastic, but there's just enough of a grip that I think I'll be able to do some good steering with that thing. Love the gear shift. I love the fact we finally have one of these mini arcade cabinets with a steering wheel on it. Now, if they would just release some others. There has been an announcement from the My Arcade folks. They're partnering with Sega, and they show Outrun as part of the logo. It would seem foolish if you got the Outrun rights that you wouldn't make the Outrun with this form factor. I mean, that just seems like an obvious one. But all the other games seem to be Genesis games, so I don't know if that bodes very well. But you know what? I like Pole Position. I think I prefer Pole Position to Outrun. And now I can play it in a really cool little machine. It'll sit with all my other little cool machines, and I'm very, very happy with that. The other games I would love to see done like this are, it'd be cool if they could do Turbo, but I think Turbo is sort of a game that requires such speed for your movements with the steering wheel. I don't know that Turbo would work well. And I don't know that they could do anything more recent like Daytona. I think the hardware inside here that's running this, I don't see it. They've partnered with Atari in the past, and I was thinking, oh yeah, get some good Atari games on there. But I was just like what? Maybe as like a collection, they could do Night Driver. I would love that. And Drag Race had a steering wheel on it. And, I don't know, Superbug or something like that. Or maybe some of their really early Sprint or Le Mans or something like that. Like, there's a bunch of stuff they could do. Do like a three or four games in one with the Atari logo at the top. I'd be happy with that. That would work for me. But anyway, for right now, I'm very pleased with the pole position. This is great. It's got pole position too, and it looks super nice, and it controls really well with that steering wheel. Very, very happy. Well, there we go. For our Christmas, I got the My Arcade pole position racing game controller, whatever the heck this device is called, and I'm very, very thrilled. I'm going to leave it there, so until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.